Hi everybody, Kent Martz here with Explore Scientific. By myself today, don't have Tyler or Annie, so here I am. Today we're going to talk about a couple of really good selling products. We're going to be talking about the IXOS 100 go-to tracker combo with the First Light 8640 telescope. But first we're going to talk about how to power this system. The IXOS 100 go-to tracker combo comes with a battery pack that takes C-cell batteries. Those C-cell batteries will last for a couple hours. We strongly recommend going with a lithium-ion battery pack because of the nature recharge, and you can use it for a long time. The one we have, the mount comes with this handy-dandy battery holder, which the C-cell battery pack will slip into, or our Explore Scientific lithium-ion battery pack goes in there as well. It comes with a correct cable, has the correct 5.5 by 2.5 and 5.5 by 2.1 tips that work on either the Exos 100 or on the Exos 2 with PMC8. It's a great kit, great combination. We have done research on this power bank. I was doing some research at 0.5 milliamps draw. This will give you about 8 hours of field time, which is what the Exos 100 draws when it's simply tracking. When it's going to, it draws 0.6 amps, so the more you move, the more it's going to draw your battery down, but still will give you a solid 8 hours of typically should give you a good 6, 7, 8 hours of performance. I'm having trouble speaking today. So this literally snaps onto the leg of the tripod that
now,
comes
Ken,
with the Exos 100.
I got a question for you. This is Paul at the booth. The cord, it's got to be, does it have to be a specific type cord?
It doesn't. This cord doesn't have to be a specific type cord. You just have to have the correct tips. So it has to be 5.5 by 2.5 on one end, and it's interchangeable from the battery pack to the mount. The Exos 2 GT with PMC8 uses the 5.5 tip by 2.5. The Exos 100 uses the 5.5 by 2.1 tip. They are effectively interchangeable in the Exos 100, but not in the Exos 2 GT with PMC8.
Now, the GT requires a chip in the cord, is that what it is?
That is to run it with a computer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you don't, for this, you don't have to have
so you don't need that with
another, the FTDI chipset cable. With this mount, you can run it with a micro USB to USB, hook this mount up to a computer and use your favorite planetarium program, Carcecile, Stellarium, there's Maxim, DL, all those planetarium programs, if they're ASCOM compliant, which is Astronomical Communications Protocol, can control this mount. So I've got the mount hooked up, I've got the power on, so let's make the Exos 100 do its thing real quick. So I'm gonna try and do this from here. I'm gonna turn on my tablet. So this mount runs.
This is the First Light 80 millimeter telescope.
This is the First Light 80 millimeter, First Light AR 8640. So it's 80 millimeters in diameter, 600 millimeter focal length. So we'll talk about that in a minute. We're gonna talk about the mount first. So we're also gonna be talking about eyepieces. You can see I have this beauty right here. We're gonna talk about in a little while. So I am going to go to settings. It's hard to do backwards. First, I'm going to check to make sure Explore Stars is not running in the background, and it is. So I'm going to get rid of it. This is on an iPad. It will run on an Android tablet with a screen of at least 7 inches, or on a laptop, Windows tablet, Windows desktop. So you can see, I'm going to click on Wi-Fi, and now you can see the mount come up right there. It's named PMC8 E4 something. And I am going to, what just happened? Hard to do this upside down. Wi-Fi, there we go. Now I'm going to simply tap on it. And since I've already put in the name and put this in before, the password is simply the name, just like it's shown. It's PMC-EIGHT. That's so you can make sure you're hooking up to your own device. And it looks like it is, yes, hooked up. So back to the home screen, launch Explore Stars, And there it is. And so now I'm going to attempt to do this. We can find out if it's running or not simply by moving the joystick. And there it goes. You can hear it and see it. There it goes. So I'm going to let it slow down and stop. I am going to hit menu. Let me find it upside down. I'm going to hit menu. And then I'm going to hit catalog. I'm going to hit solar. And I'm going to then go to the sun.
You mean gently tap it?
Yeah, I'm not,
right?
You hit it, don't tap. You hit it, you'll break my iPad. And there we go. It's going to go off to the sun. Now then, we assume a couple of things, and one of them is that it's not going to hit the table, and it might do that. So I'm going to turn said table just a wee bit.
There you go. It'll be all right. Keep moving the table. Oh, look at you.
There we go. I made sure the counterweight was going to clear, but I didn't make sure the telescope was going to clear. Now, this go-to is contingent on you having the telescope correctly polar aligned, which is a pretty straightforward operation. You simply can polar align this axis of the mount right here, point it north, and at nighttime, there's a polar tunnel you can use to see through to get it perfectly polar aligned with Polaris. Close enough is good enough because there's a 2-star alignment that you can go through and builds up a mathematical formula of how far off your polar alignment is. And for visual astronomy, this will take care of all your needs using that transform. So
now this particular one we're showing today is a combo pack.
Correct. This is a combo package. We're going to talk about that in just a second. I'm going to go home now. I'm going to park
it. You're going to need this software to run it.
Well, yeah, this software is called Explore Stars, and it's downloadable. It's downloadable from your platform's store. So I'm trying to get over here to the
Whether
settings
Microsoft Store
and
Google Play.
Keep tapping the wrong thing.
Apple
I'm going to turn around so I can see it.
Store.
So we're going to go to settings, and we're going to go to park, and now it's going to go back to right where it was. This device uses micro stepper motors rather than DC servo motors. The benefit of them is the micro step counts that we can program in the circuit board that runs them is highly accurate. So it will go back unless I grab a hold of it and stop it, and then it's going to make a real bad chattering noise. That's not gears tearing up like you hear when other gear-to-gear drives with DC servo motors bumps into something. Those just keep grinding away and will start tearing up the teeth. This won't do that. It'll sound bad, but all it's doing is losing the step count. You simply have to put it back together. Now, we didn't talk about the battery pack. $139.99 today, Savings Llama, so you can save 10% with the Savings Llama code that will pop up on your screen. So that's the USB power bank. We now go to this combination with the Exos 100 Go-To tracker and comes with the First Light AR80 640 telescope. In the package today, $649.99. I know. Yeah, that's right. We don't have a promo code on this platform. My apology for that. So
this is Facebook.
This is Facebook. We don't have a promo code on Facebook. I'm not going to say that.
You can't say Amalawadon.
I can't say Amalawadon.
No, you can't say that
because
Facebook doesn't like it.
Yeah, they don't like competition. I understand that.
Facebook police.
So, all right. So this comes with a 25mm super plossal eyepiece. I can pull that off right there. It's a beautiful eyepiece. Gives a nice wide low power view. Like it a lot. It comes with a red dot finder, and I can simply pull the red dot finder off and show you that here in the shot as well. There we go. The red dot finder. It comes with a 90-degree diagonal, so you can look down into the scope and not have to get down and look through the scope. Fantastic setup. It really is a good piece of kit. Good combination. This telescope is really suited for this mount because its weight is right in the range for great visual astronomy. It also will do astrophotography if you have the correct telescope that you can hook a camera up on.
A lighter camera. You don't want to put a bunch of
you don't. I mean, you can use a DSLR on this one. It's going to be difficult to hook up. You'll have to buy some special adapters that
Well,
we don't carry.
The motor is not the
that
GT,
we don't carry.
so
The motors can handle it as long as you have the telescope balanced.
what's the max weight on that?
The max weight that we state for astrophotography is 9 pounds of telescope and camera gear. And for visual, it's 18, I believe it is. So I know people that are doing astrophotography way over that. We are conservative in our estimates.
We
So,
don't recommend.
we don't recommend it, but
doing that.
the speed limit's one thing, and other people choose to drive faster than the recommended speed limit. So
Right,
they
that's
get what
unheard
they
of,
pay
Kent.
for. It's unheard of, people speeding. So moving along real quick, I'm going to move on to, let's talk about some eyepieces real quick. First, we're going to talk about magnification. The magnification, everybody craves high magnification. The problem is with high magnification, they'll buy a telescope and right off the bat, bam, they'll put the highest magnification eyepiece in there they can, and they can't find anything, they can't get it in focus because they've never used a telescope before. They want to see things at really high magnification, but really low magnification where it's at. It's a weird thing that in low magnification things can look really sharp and crisp. At high magnification, the atmosphere is moving around, the transparency is
Yeah.
bad, there's dust, and
I
makes
ran into
the
that when I
planet.
first did it. It was like I found the Jupiter, and then I threw like a 9 in it, and it just didn't. It was all wobbly and
Yep.
wavy.
But
and
you
I was
put
like,
a
what
20
the heck?
But you put a 25 in it or a
But
30.
25 in it, it was fine. I could see it.
Yep, because you're not magnifying the terrible scene. And so people crave magnification, but they struggle with the understanding high magnification is tough only on certain nights. You should start with low magnification. Now, a little bit of math here we're going to talk about, right?
No, man.
Yep, little bit of math here. We've got to talk about
You're evil,
how you
Kent.
figure low magnification. So down here on your eyepiece, there's a number. And this is a 25 millimeter eyepiece, as is this eyepiece. Both these eyepieces are 25 millimeters right here. One's different than the other significantly, other than price. This has about a 50-degree apparent field of view, which means that when you hold this eyepiece up to your eye, it's going to have an apparent 50-degree field of view approximately. This eyepiece that we're going to talk about towards the end is a 100-degree apparent field of view, 25 millimeters. They're going to have the same magnification, but this big one is going to have twice the field of view of that one. That field of view is important because it makes things easier to see. It makes things wider, right? Instead of being at 25, it has a 100 or 50 has a 100-degree apparent field of view. That's going to cost more money. We'll talk about that in a minute. So the way you figure magnification is you take 640 millimeters of focal length on this telescope that we have here in the showroom today and divide it by 25, and that gives you the magnification that you have with that eyepiece and this telescope. You put this eyepiece on a telescope that has 952 millimeters of focal length, it will yield a different magnification. Remember, it's focal length divided by the focal length of the eyepiece gives you magnification. So pretty straightforward. I'm going to get this stuff out of my way so we can continue on and talk about the 82 series of eyepieces. Now, go ahead.
You actually taught Genius Cat something there. Just so
Oh, Genius Cat came up and learned something. Here we go. So the Genius Cat is in the studio. I'm going to keep this one back here out of the way.
You get to change the cat box today, though.
So this is our 82-degree eyepiece, 3 of our 82-degree eyepiece. The 82-degree eyepieces are by far our most popular eyepiece. All of our eyepieces are waterproof, and if you look on them, there's a little thing right here that says AR. Can you see that AR right there? That stands for argon. Argon is an inert, dry gas. Each of our eyepieces, it has the air evacuated from it. Air holds moisture, and it's filled with inert argon gas, and which means it's dry. And then there's rubber seals in here that keep this sealed. They put a plug in there, voila, there's no moisture inside of any of your Explore Scientific waterproof eyepieces. No moisture inside means that they will not fog up internally because of temperature change. Now, certainly they will fog up on the outside piece where your eyeball goes, and if your eyepiece is laying on a table or otherwise not in your telescope, it's going to fog up. When the temperature of the glass reaches the dew point, things are going to fog up on the outside. You're going to get just like a glass of lemonade or iced tea starts sweating on a hot, muggy afternoon. Same thing, the eyepiece is going to start attracting moisture out of the air, and it will fog up a little bit. I have a little mini hair dryer that 12 volt that I can blow onto the eyepiece and get it off. Now then, the 14 millimeter, which is the lowest power we have today.
Back them up just a little bit.
Back them up just a little. How's that?
There you go. Now they're in focus.
They're in focus. All right. So need to get a focus line on the table. We'll back the table up so we know where this. This is a new table we have, so we're still figuring it out.
You keep moving it. There's no way.
So anyway, the 14 millimeter has a glorious view, 82 degrees wide. It's 229 available now.
Mike Overracker says.
Mike Overracker. Overracker. Yes. Yeah. Hey, Mike. What's he say?
I don't know. He just said hello.
Oh, hello, Mike. Good to talk to you, or good to see you through the camera. Let me focus on you. Yep, I see you. So the 82 degree 11 is great for globular clusters, planetary nebula, bright cloud structures. You pair it with an Explore Scientific focal extender, and you can get some fantastic planetary and lunar views. And the last eyepiece in the set featured today is the 8265 long eye relief. Has a couple of more millimeters eye relief than the first generation of 82 degree eyepieces. A couple of millimeters doesn't sound like much, but it makes a huge difference if you're like me and wear glasses. So you don't have to be right up against it and you still can't get everything into focus. You can use your glasses when you look through this eyepiece. And what's nice about it is, look at the size of that hole right there, right? That is a portal that when you put it up to your eye, you've got a whole bunch of room to look around, and got an eye cap on, can't see anything.
I got
a whole bunch of room in there. I can get my glasses up against it and be able to see what's in the eyepiece. Go ahead.
Got a question. So you got the big 25 and the little 25.
Yep.
Other than the width of it, is it going to be a clearer glass?
No, they're all made with the same kind of glass.
Well, no, but it's got more air and stuff in there. Are there more
argon
elements inside of it?
It's all argon. There will be different elements. Argon. There's different elements and different designs involved to engineer those spectacular views in these eyepieces.
It could possibly be clearer, right?
It would be marginal potentially in these bigger ones because you're getting more. What's going to happen is these larger ones are 2-inch eyepieces in diameter. The previous ones in the 82s were 1.5 inches. So you can see the difference in the barrels right here, the size of the barrels, right? This big one is a 2-inch eyepiece. The other one's an 1.5 inch eyepiece, 1.25 inches. So the barrels are different size. The 2-inch eyepieces are going to draw more light into your eye because they gather up more eye. So this will bring more light, which will make it look brighter. Now, the Explore Scientific eyepieces aren't stated as a 1.25 inch set or a 2-inch set. The eyepieces are mixed. So like on this First Light 8640, the diagonal is an 1.25 inch diagonal. I'll have it right here. So this eyepiece will not fit down in there, right? But this eyepiece will.
Astro Beard says that his 82 degree 30 is his favorite, but it weighs more than his camera.
Yep. The 82 degree 30 is our single best selling eyepiece. And those are out of stock right now. They will be coming back into stock about a month and a half is my best guess right now.
Well, Kent,
so
it's the end of our time.
Time's up. So let me go through these real quick. The 100 degree 25,
about a minute.
The 100 degree 5.5, and the 100 degree 9. Let me just say that paired with the Explore Scientific 127 millimeter carbon fiber triplet telescope. I kept Jupiter in the eyepiece. Join us on Monday. We'll be back with more. We have a lineup of other fun, good selling products, and we'll take care of you. Appreciate you coming. Have a great day. I'm Kent with Explore Scientific.